everybody, and thank you for watching Inside the Business Mind. Inside the Business Mind is a show that I've been doing for the last 5 years, and every once in a while, I strike gold and find a super talented, wonderful individual to bring in front of you to share some of the greatest gifts that you're going to get a chance to see in this lifetime. Today is no different. Today, we are going inside the business mind of one of my favorite coaches. Versonya is one of the smartest, most talented, wonderful women that I've got a chance to enjoy working with on different shows and experiencing her presence on LinkedIn and just showing up. She's just been showing up in so many different places and so many different spaces as super talented, wonderfully gifted. And I am sure you are going to have the great time of getting to know and getting to meet her today as we go inside the business mind of Miss Versonya. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Miss Versonya on the show, and she's going to tell us what she's working on, what's going on with her today. Versonya, how are you today?
Hello, my friend. I just want to take you every place I go. You are so kind. I am awesome.
Tell us what's going on with you, what you're working on, what's happening.
So thank you for asking. And I am actually gazelle focused. I participate in 3 retreats every year. I do a spiritual retreat at the beginning of the year, and I use that time to listen for who I am to be and how I am to show up in that year. Then in the middle of the year, I do what I call a course correction retreat. And then at the end of the year is when I do a retrospective retreat. And that's where I measure my performance against my values, against my targets. And I love what John Maxwell says. He says, experience is not the best teacher, but evaluated experience is the best teacher. So what I have been up to is going through this retrospective experience so that I can get a 360 evaluation on how I've shown up and how well I have served my clients and areas that I may have gaps. And all of this so that I can end the year strong and make sure that I am meeting people where they are and that I am relevant and positioned to help them move from where they are to where they want to be. So I am excited, celebrating my wins, identifying my growth opportunities, and realizing what to stop, start, and keep.
Fantastic. That is wonderful. As you can see, Versonya has a beautiful offer for you all right now. Versonya, why don't you tell us about what this offer is all about?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And so one of the exciting things about me having gone on a journey of retrospection is I am eager and excited to come along other business owners, executives, leaders who also want to not just learn from experience, but evaluate their experiences and understand in very critical ways their current positioning and what actions they should take to end the year strong. And so with that in mind, I have a 3-week masterclass that I am facilitating. And it's based on John Maxwell's book, Put Your Dreams to the Test. But this is going to be an amazing opportunity to reflect in critical ways on your year and to identify what are the critical steps to take to end the year strong. And so that masterclass is going to begin on December the 4th, and it will run for 3 weeks for 75 minutes. And I'm excited.
That is so wonderful. Listen, I can't wait to attend, and I hope those of you who are watching will attend as well. Even if you're watching a recording, you're going to get a chance to play with Versonya and get to know her and all that kind of good stuff. So make sure, even if you're watching the recording or you're watching one of the live broadcast that we're going to do later on, because this is being recorded in studio right now. But in the future, that chat will be active. You'll always be able to participate in the chat. And so it doesn't matter whether you're watching this, over the next couple of weeks when we show it on the replays, or when you the live broadcast, you'll be able to engage with us in the chat up until the date that Versonya does what she needs to do. But I'm sure she'll want to talk to you even after that or before that. So definitely hit up the chat, whether you're watching this on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or wherever.
Yes. Thank you. Coach, you froze for a minute there. Okay, there you are. There you are.
Okay, we are back. Sorry for the disconnect there. I had a little glitch with the internet. This rain and that's happening here is making life difficult, but we're going to endeavor and push forward. As I was saying, it's wonderful to be able to have, talent like Versonya on, because she embodies everything that we embody at the round table. At the round table, we really focus and teach entrepreneurs and business leaders about collaboration, encouragement, and communication. We know that those are the vital things that you have to bring to the table when you are trying to build relationships and by those relationships extend and leverage your potential and your possibilities, which are endless when you have the right people with you. And so that's what it's all about. But I need to ask you, Versonya, of all of the top three, key values that we value at the round table, which one is your favorite and why?
This is a hard question. This is a hard question because the core values of the round table, communication, collaboration, and encouragement, all three are extremely important. And if forced to choose, I would say that the one that I'm most closely connected with is encouragement. And that's if forced to choose. And I say that because communication allows you to connect with a person in a way that says, I see you, and you are a person of value. So communication is important. And then collaboration. When you are someone like me who loves to be a part of things that are bigger than me, collaboration is an acknowledgement that we are better than me. And so with collaboration, we get to reason together. However, I would choose encouragement, because what encouragement says is there is greatness in you. And I get to be a part of helping you to show up as your best self. And with the other two, there is a greater possibility that there is a lid Because when I communicate or when I collaborate, we have my sphere of knowledge, my sphere of influence. But when I encourage, that is not limited by my spheres. But what encouragement allows me to do is to lean into some fundamental principles. Miles Monroe is a leader, author, and a great just thinker and motivator. And he authored this book called The Spirit of Leadership. And in that book, he presents this principle that we all have been created with a spirit of leadership in us. And so what encouragement says is, independent of what I know, independent of what I may be able to join forces and contribute to you, there is a spirit of leadership in you that is unique and distinct to you. And so through encouragement, I can be a shoulder that you stand on. I can hold up a mirror of yourself that you might have forgotten that can propel you into your destiny, that can propel you into your purpose. And all of that is independent of any lid or cap or knowledge that I may have. And another thing that I like about the value of encouragement is one of John Maxwell's laws of leadership that I really resonate with is the law of empowerment. And what that law says is that leaders who are secure, they give away power to other people. And now, for anyone who has been around Coach Marvin Powell for any length of time, you know that he exemplifies, embodies this law of empowerment because he is very secure as a leader and he gets joy in giving away power to others. And encouragement allows you to do that with infinite possibilities.
Now, this is not supposed to be about me. Anyway, I got to ask, that was a brilliant answer, by the way. And, you know, I've done this show for, like I said, for the last 5 years. I've had several guests on, and very few people answer that question as eloquently as you just did. And I know there are a lot of people who have been on the show before I get a little jealous because they wish they would have come up with something that's good. But this is why, you know, you are one of the best empowerment advocates, leadership coach, keynote speaker, corporate trainer. And I got to ask, you know, what is it about what you do that you love most? Because you do so many things. You know, what is it that you love to do that you could do all day, every day, without any restrictions, without any boundaries, with just go for it all the time? What is it that you love?
Thank you for the question. And what I love the most about what I get to do is being present for aha moments. That does it for me. Being present for aha moments. And for me, those aha moments most often occur in two places. One place is when someone is experiencing life or experiencing challenges or is stuck or for whatever reason, is in a space where they do not fully see the value of where they are now. And so the aha moments that exist in those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
I had a client that I had the opportunity to come alongside of, and she had this dream. She's an entrepreneur, and she had what she felt was a God-given dream, but she felt like a failure. And she was considering going back to work for someone else. And I loved that I had the opportunity to come alongside her and critically evaluate her current positioning. And she said, Versonya, I'm doing it. I'm not a failure. And she's a very analytical thinker. And
Right.
in going through the systematic process,
Sure.
it wasn't just a feeling of I'm doing it. She had data.
Right.
I'm doing this. This is positioning me for this. I'm doing this. This is helping me to gain knowledge here. I'm doing this. She was like, I'm doing it.
Right.
Aha moments. So
I love it.
Finding value where you are. The second space is opening your eyes to new possibilities. New possibilities. And again, I had a different client. This was a client who dedicated his life to building a multi-million-dollar business, but he was ready to transition off, but he was concerned because he didn't trust the bench strength of his team of who could succeed him. And so they invited me in to facilitate a full-day workshop. And in that time, again, from a data-driven perspective, what he began to realize was, oh, wait a minute. There is not another me on the bench. And that was his error, because he had strength on the bench that led differently, that could still carry on the company.
Right.
And so it was that,
but in their way, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And when at the end of the workshop, he saw a roadmap. And so it wasn't just pie in the sky, but he saw an actual roadmap and strategic planning. He was ready to give up the company. So it's those aha moments for me, Marvin, helping people to see value where they are and helping them to imagine new possibilities.
Didn't I tell you she was a rock star? I told you. I told y'all. I found it. She's a rock star, and that's all there is to it. The next question I got to ask you, and I love that aha moment answer. That's perfect. It's just perfect, because it's that time when people finally get to see the greatness that is.
Yeah.
I believe I'm having such trouble with the internet today, but that's okay. Next question is, what areas do you see yourself growing in over the next 5 years, and why?
Okay. So for my area of growth, this is an excitingly scary question. And so for me, I would say there are 3 areas that I see myself growing in the next 5 years. And one area is expanding the services that I offer to executives, to entrepreneurs, to community leaders, in helping them to navigate through transition, conflict, and uncertainty. Expanding those services beyond speaking, coaching, and training, but also working myself out of a job, equipping my clients equipping my clients to develop their resources within the company. And, authoring, I am looking to publish my first book very soon, but also through writing books as an additional service to really equip clients to self-coach, to self-manage. The hardest person we will ever lead is ourselves.
Yep. Because we tend to fight back, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I'll tell myself in a minute, self, you crazy. You lost your mind if you think we're going to do this. And then myself will go, really? Oh, maybe I should come up with a different expectation. And myself will go, you're right. You want to slow down, and that is so true. That is so true. I forgot. I skipped the question, and I want to go back and make sure I got this question, because this question opens up some different doors. About where you are professionally, and why did you choose this profession in the first place? How did you get to be this great trainer, this great coach, this expansive advocate for entrepreneurs and business leaders? How did you become the great Versonya Dupont?
Oh, not the great Versonya Dupont. Now, do you want me to answer that question or finish answering the other one first? Which order do you want me to go in?
Whatever you like.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I will go back and answer the why, and then come back and finish answering the areas I see myself growing. Or I might should have done it in reverse order, because my answer to the question of how did I get into this business? It's not pretty and it's not noble. I became a certified speaker, coach, and trainer seeking success. I was already established as a business owner and as an executive leader, and I was excited about the different tools that I had vetted and refined, and I wanted to share them. And specifically, I wanted to share them at the policy level. And so my thought was, nobody knows Versonya Dupont, but many people know John Maxwell.
I hear you.
And so I became a certified speaker, coach, and trainer looking for success. I wanted to leverage John's name to open doors. Here's an interesting thing. One of my mentors says, the process will reveal the path. And so even though my reasoning for specifically entering into this world were very self-serving, I am a woman of faith. And so my process in all that I do involves not only prayer, but studying of the word and seeking God's counsel when I move. And so the process revealed the path. I entered into this industry seeking success. And what I found with the John Maxwell team is they are very value-based. They're very value-based. And I went in with the intent of leveraging his name. And when I got there, what I found were like-minded people who were people of value, who value people.
Right.
And so then I said, well, wait a minute. You know how you have that thing that you have naturally done all of your life and everyone else said, oh, you make great cakes. You should own a bakery. And you're thinking, I like making cakes.
Right.
Well, what I realized was I got into this business to leverage a name. What I get to do, helping people who want to make a difference understand how to be more, that's what I have been doing all of my life.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. I mean, and when you get to those moments and you think you got a plan, you think you got a strategy, you think you have everything all worked out, you're working it, you're moving it, and then something happens to remind you that there's a higher calling, there's a different calling, there's a better strategy that might be at foot. It might be a combination of what you already started that's taking you just in a slightly different direction, but a much more powerful direction. That's what I call shift. Shift happens.
Yeah. I like that. I caught that.
Because it's powerful when it does. But a lot of people, instead of acknowledging the shift and the opportunity to shift and pivot or do whatever they need to do next, they think it's an abandonment of their old ideas, and so they retreat because it's fearful to go into this new territory, this new idea, this new concept. So bravo for you, because now we get to experience Versonya, not John Maxwell's version of Versonya, but the gift that is Versonya. It gets to shine as it was intended to shine. So I love that. I love that you're making that shift and causing those opportunities. You're going to cause greater opportunities to happen. You wanted to finish out that other question, which was, where do you see yourself growing in the next 5 years and why? So I apologize for interrupting your flow. It's all the fault is mine. Let's do it.
All is well. All is well. So I mentioned that there were 3 areas that I see myself growing in the next 5 years. Okay. And so the first was in expanding my services to serve the clients who are in spaces of transition, change, or uncertainty. And another area that I see myself growing in the next 5 years is very strategic and practical ways that I empower others, which is another reason why I gravitate so much towards Coach Marvin Powell, because he empowers others seamlessly. And I want to grow in how I do that. And specifically, I want to refine and perfect what I call a turnkey model of doing business. Now, for most business owners, an act of betrayal is when you invest in employees, and then after you invest, instead of you reaping what you would perceive of as a return on investment, instead of them helping to build your organization, they now want to go out and do something on their own. Well, for me, I want that to be my exact business model. So I want to establish a systematic way to invest and develop the gifts, talents, and potential in others to propel them to their next, whatever their next may be. So, expanding my direct services, developing a model for empowering others. And then the third area that I want to grow is legacy building. So for me, I am a woman of faith. I am also a missionary. For my church, I lead short-term mission teams who go to foreign soil and partner with other like-minded organizations who are significantly impacting the lives of others. And I am affiliated with humanitarian organizations. So this whole idea of becoming somebody who makes a difference is something that is extremely important to me. And I want to somehow leave a legacy to continue that work. And so, where I hope to grow in the next 5 years is understanding practical vehicles for making that happen, practical vehicles for putting in place this perpetual giving or this perpetual resourcing around people who want to make a difference and to have that in place beyond my lifetime. So those are the 3 areas I would like to grow: expanding my services, empowering others, and legacy building.
Fantastic. If you remind me of a phrase that I used to hear quite a bit back in the speaker and training circuits and all that kind of stuff. And people would say, people are with you for a season, and then when it's time to branch off, you branch off. And it's not that you don't look back. It's not that you don't pay attention. It's not that you no longer care about those people, but the purpose that your relationship had, the collaboration you had, the time you had to do that was the time you had to do that.
Yes.
And you have brilliantly articulated how you want to do that on purpose versus do that by accident. We're going to plan for you to leave. We're going to plan for you to be successful and be on your own. And by the way, that makes room for somebody else to come in to do that over and over and over. And if you have that system all prepared and all worked out, oh my God, you're going to empower so many people. You're going to empower so many people so well. Because again, it's an old maxim, right? If you begin with the end in mind, then you have a much better shot of getting to whatever that end is. You tell people, I want you to be with me, and they don't really want to be with you forever. We got a problem. But if you say, I only want you with me for a minute, for a while, so that we could, get you up to strength and where you need to go, so you can then launch your thing.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. That's kind of what I do in my coaching practice. When I built the 90-day power play, people started asking me, what is this coaching for just 3 to 4 months? I mean, what is this all about? And I'm like, well, it's about exactly what you just said. I don't want to be in somebody's life. I'm not trying to be their advisor or counselor. I want to be a coach. The coach has a defined thing we're trying to do, right? We're trying to win the game, whatever the game is. We want to help you win. And so let's get there. Let's win the game, and then we're done. I have nothing else to teach you. It's time for you to play. It's time for you to play. Now you're playing at a higher level than you were playing with before you met me. Time for you to get another coach to take you to another level. Not me. We're done. Kind of thing. And so I love it. I love it. And that works for me, because I'm an introvert, and too many people in my life at too many times. I can't give to everybody simultaneously. I got to pick and choose, right? I got to be like, okay, I'm gonna shine some light on you, but only for a minute, and then I'm gonna move on. So thank you so very much for being on the show. Is there any last words of wisdom? Literally, and this is the reason why we do this show, so people don't get it, is understand. I bring before you people that I know you can trust, and I allow them to prove why you can trust them. And Versonya has done an excellent job. And so if you're thinking about hiring a corporate trainer, if you're thinking about hiring somebody to help executives move forward in your organization, if you're thinking about, starting a business for yourself, you would be intelligent to at least consider working with Versonya. You'll be able to find her contact information. I'll make sure you put everything in the chat and all that kind of good stuff and in later episodes and stuff. But understand, this is a power player. That's all we bring at the Inside the Business Mind program. So here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say goodbye to Miss Versonya Dupont.
Bye-bye.
Once you hang out backstage, yeah, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more before we end our talk. But the show's going to be over just a minute after I give a brief recap. And so there you go. You heard it. That's Versonya. I told you. All we bring is superpowered, high-powered, low-drag professionals on the show to make sure that you have everything you need to empower your life and your business. Versonya is an excellent example of exactly that. If you get a chance to work with her, you'll be doing a great thing for yourself. My contact information is scrolling across the screen, so you don't have any problem reaching out to me. Text me, email me, whatever you want to do. Tell me you saw the show or you heard something in the show that empowers you. If you're following us in the chat as you watch the recordings on the replays, definitely engage. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're coming from. Whether you're finding this on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, we want to be here for you. Both of us do. And exactly, if you're situated where at the corporate level and you really want to bring somebody, a trainer, facilitator in to help empower your people, I can't recommend anybody better than Versonya. And so let's make it happen. God bless you. And we had a great show. Thank you very much.